There are different methods. The main method is through external sources, by looking at what the ancient extra-biblical writers would quote. For example, if a text of Scripture is quoted by Eusebius, and you know when Eusebius lived, and that helps you date the book. Also, by looking at internal references and first century history of the first century, and see where the weight of the evidence falls. Now, of course, this becomes a matter of huge controversy with higher criticism. The higher critics have, for the most part, forced most of the New Testament writers into the second century, although there's been some softening of that critical aspect in more recent years. But you want to comment on that?
Yes, external sources for sure, and in many cases we would have some very specific information about when certain books were written. There's been a great deal of discussion, of course, about New Testament books. Earlier part of the 20th century, dating them fairly late, but now even liberal scholarship has moved those dates way back into earlier parts of the first century, and therefore within the period of the apostles who purportedly wrote these New Testament books.
Sometimes philosophical and critical theories are in play. For example, Old Testament books that show predictive prophecies that naturalists believe is impossible. They will argue for a theory that these things are vaticinia ex eventu, that is, that this is the statements that had to be written after the history had been fulfilled, because they just don't believe in predictive prophecy. And so those theological, philosophical considerations play into the dispute as well.